Hello everyone and welcome to Silicon Sounds, audio for the rest of us. Today I have the opportunity and the pleasure of reviewing the Pula Unicrom. I'd like to title this review as When It's Time to Chill. And yes, I believe I did say it correctly. It's not unicorn, it's Unicrom. It is what it is. Pula has released several quality IEMs in the last few years, including the Anvil and the PA02. I still own the PA02 and absolutely still enjoy it, popping it into my ears every now and then. Their latest release is the $79 Unicrom. Let's get you a closer look at this beauty, beautifully built as per usual. A little chunky in size though. Anyways, let's keep talking about it. The Unicrom, in terms of a driver complement, features a single 10mm beryllium-coated dynamic driver housed in a resin shell and adorned with a stabilized wood faceplate. Several colors are available: yellow, red, purple. I guess these would be considered the blue or so, and because of the nature of the faceplate that's used to stabilize wood, no two are exactly the same. Pula does mention the Unicrom having a smooth, natural sound profile, and to a great extent, I have to say that they have achieved this with the Unicrom. Tuning-wise, the Unicrom offers up a balanced sound with noticeable warmth, particularly in the lower mids. The bass has a thickness to it, but at the sacrifice of a little bit of control. There's snappy mid-bass, well-managed mid-range, and treble that does roll off at the top, but still complements the overall sound well. It's easy to drive. The Unicrom is easy to drive, and was happy with the few sources that I drove it with. I drove it with around 4 different sources, and it did well with all of them. For tip selection, though, I went with a short-stemmed, wide-bore model, and really did help. These, as you can see, the aggressive in-ear nozzle here. So really a short stemmed was enough to get a good deep seal. Specs: high performance single dynamic driver, 10mm beryllium plated dynamic driver unit. It's really tuned for natural balanced sound profile. Great build quality with a stabilized wood faceplate, as we saw already. Really nice with the branding. Silver plated stock cable, I'll show you in a minute. Swappable termination plugs. The included cable is following a trend which I really like from a number of quality manufacturers, offering plugs that have swappable terminations, either 3.5mm single-ended or 4.4mm balanced. That's not enough, of course. The cable has to be of high quality, and Pula have definitely pulled that off. I'll show you in a second. Lightweight ergonomic shells. They are lightweight, not the lightest I've had in my hands, but fairly lightweight. And the carrying case is standout, and I'm going to show you those right now. Here we have, hard to see in the whole picture, the Pula carrying case. This is a typical carrying case given by other manufacturers. Small little thing. It does what it does. QOA, sorry, good case, but it's okay. But the Pula is about double its size, can barely fit in the shot. Really nice, deep case, lined, very soft, well done. But let's look at what's in there. We have the cable. The cable is standout. Again, it has convertible tips. Right, this is the 3.5 SE tip, and in the box, we will see the 4.4mm, and it has the reinforcement, screw-on reinforcement here, so that it won't come off over time. As well, in the box, we have ample tips to choose from, and some of the tips that it came with. I'm not sure if those are mine or those came with it. Nice. Those are I'd say moderately, fairly wide bore. All of this comes in the box. So bravo, Pula. I've listened to what people are saying. They want to have some value added, and this definitely is it. This is a case I'll be keeping. In terms of the cable, absolutely. I'll be keeping that as well. Silver-plated copper. Let's get back to, put all this away, and let's get back to the IEM. Let's talk about the build and fit. Attractive, well built. Build quality is excellent. I've noticed that on the other Pula models as well, that the build quality is very, very good. The shells are seamless. There's no border visible or something you can feel with your finger with the top plate. The branding on it, very nicely done. They are larger in size, that's for sure. Some even larger than the Eroso from Kiwi Airs, for example. It dwarfs them. That being said, the shape led to a great fit and comfort, even for longer listening sessions. The supplied accessories, as I've showed you, are of excellent quality. The stock cable is notable with interchangeable 3.5mm single-ended and 4.4mm balance tips included in the box. The retail package is a treat with a pleasing unboxing experience for an $80 IEM. Please, other manufacturers, take notice. The value added does lead to at least a perception of a nicer product, something that people have spent a little bit of their time concentrating on. How is the retail purchaser going to experience the unboxing? People think it means nothing. It does mean something. I would say out of a sound experience, it is only 5 to 10%, but still, it's something. The retail package is a treat. The included carrying case is also stand-up, being larger than typical. I'd say double the size with tasteful branding. Not something you might want to put in a shirt pocket, but I like it. Lots of quality tips included. Let's talk about the sound. That's what we're here for, folks. The sound. Oh, 2-pin connector, as you see, and not recessed or anything. So cable lovers, such as one of the members of the review group, Canuck Audioholics, shout out to them. Shout out to the Canuck Audioholics Anonymous review group, a small but dedicated group of Canadians that I'm a part of reviewing gear. We put the music first. It's all about the music. Gear is just a secondary thing. Bass here goes deep. Sub bass has great extension and richness, sacrificing some firmness and detail. I've heard beryllium driven IEMs that have a little bit more snap and detail in the lower bass. The Pula is not the worst of the, but it's not the best or class leading, as it were. There is sometimes the bass can sound a little bit wayward in terms of control, but only in the deepest sub bass, and really it's again track dependent. Bass has nice rumble when called for, absolutely. The power is there when necessary. Mid bass has snap, great impact is noted. Bass texturing again is not class leading, but is adequate. This is heard on tracks such as Circumstance by Wayman Tisdale, and a few others where there's a bass guitar, there's also the drums and another guitar, and you can easily tell them apart on the better sets. The Pula does well, but not class leading. Bass has an organic presentation with ample kick when called for. That's the overall conclusion there in terms of bass. Mid-range. Clarity and composure with smooth presentation. Detail retrieval is macro over micro here. There are some micro details, but it's mostly macro. Mid-range warmth is noted. The Pula Unicrom does, oh, look, the magnets are fairly strong in there, does lean towards the warmer presentation side, which was interesting for me because the last few IEMs I had in my ear were more bright neutral. I do perform the warmer presentation, and Pula does that really well, especially in the male vocals. Female vocals are clear and expressive, but never sound thin. That warmth helped in thickening out even the female vocals. Sounded really nice. Pleasing timbre and balance. Upper mid-range, the pinna gain does show elevation, but it's well managed and moderate. Pleasing note weight. Definitely the Pula Unicrom does not suffer from paper note weight. It is pleasing. Layering and separation are also pleasing. Not class leading, but pleasing. Transients have a rapid onset and obvious force and natural decay. Of course, the lowest, deepest bass transients do tend to overhang maybe half a note occasionally. But once again, it's only discernible on some tracks and does not really take away from the overall audio experience. Treble. The treble is moderately extended with fall off at the top. There's definitely fall off at the top with the Unicrom, not low enough where treble sounds truncated or cut off. For example, cymbal clashes just stop at the initial strike. There is some shimmer there, but definitely there is some loss of energy way up. Treble has a smooth presentation with good detail. Detail retrieval is pleasing. Adequate sparkle in air. However, frequency roll-off limits treble in some tracks for transients. But at the end of the day, or for, I should say, not just transients, but for certain harmonics, when they're really high, you do notice that they kind of fall off a little earlier. But again, it's really track dependent. And unlike other IEMs I've heard, a number of them that I've heard in the past with treble roll-off, I don't really get the negative part of it with the Unicrom. It seems to stay away from that. And when listening to music for long periods of time, sometimes you don't even realize it's there. In fact, most of the time you don't. Why? Because the treble has a smoothness to it. The presentation has a smoothness that really complements the rest of the frequency range. So let me put the sound in a nutshell here. Because when I talk about bass, mid-range, and treble, it's critical listening. This is not where the Pula Unicrom actually excels. It's an IEM that is easy to listen to, but also being very versatile. Lends itself well to any genre of music I can throw at it. The sound signature is warm and inviting. While listening to the Unicrom, I could not get it out of my head how much this sounded, or reminded me, I should say, of the Kiwi Ears cadenza. They don't sound the same, and again, audio memory is fickle. I don't have the cadenza with me right now, but it reminded me of that right away. Albeit the Unicrom does have sonics which are audibly more refined than the cadenza, again, audio memory, but that I can pretty much tell for sure. Bass is present and forceful when required. The mid-range delivery is smooth and balanced with obvious warmth, and the treble is clean and fairly articulate, though falling off at the top. This is an IEM where the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Let me explain. When listening with a critical ear, each part of its frequency range does have faults, but when taken as a whole, the auditory experience comes together in a cohesive presentation that does suit long listening sessions and overall was more than pleasing. Soundstage. Moderately sized soundstage. Instrument placement is accurate. Dimensions are balanced, more than one, let's say, width, depth, and height being so much out of proportion compared to the rest. So there was some balance there. It was nice. It was natural. Space around the instruments is adequate. Again, not class leading, but adequate, so you can tell each instrument apart from each other. Layering and instrument separation, again, is not class leading, but still very well done. Never felt constrained or tied in. Although, in terms of width, it's just outside the ears, per se. It's not a holographic 3D, but it is still very well done. And vocals are always distinct. I will not say that this is a vocal forward set. I'd say it's more of a balanced set. Yet the vocals always came off as being quite distinct in the mix. Nicely done. So let's go to a conclusion. Pula have succeeded here in bringing to market a good sounding and beautifully presented and manufactured IEM with the Unicrom. Even though the IEM has a warmer sound profile that won't offend the ears, it is not laid back and bland. Unfortunately, there are some IEMs, and I will not mention them here, where it seems like they're tuned to please everyone to the point where they become bland and uninteresting. The Unicrom is not. It is not one of those. Its sound is livelier without being brash or offending. I found that Unicrom did fare best when I was not critically listening, but just enjoying music for the sake of the enjoyment. Pula continues to impress with the retail experience as well, seeing fit to include a wonderful cable and lots of tips, all this housed in a very attractive case, and useful, by the way. If you are looking for an IEM with a warmer sound profile without sacrificing clarity and musicality, you probably would do well to consider the Pula Unicrom. It just sounds good. Thank you for joining me today for the review of the Pula Unicrom. Like, support the channel, tell others about it. Hit the notification bell for more videos. There are definitely some more coming up. Thank you for being with me today for the review of the Pula Unicrom. And this is, as it always has been, Silicon Sounds, audio for the rest of us.